Hey guys, welcome to this week's review of Real Housewives of New York. This episode was so boring. I don't know if it was me, maybe I was in a bad mood, I don't know, but it was just so dry. They really need to, as much as I have enjoyed Ramona despite her kookiness, and I definitely have enjoyed Sonia, I just think it's time that they get a new cast, right? I don't know what it is, but it's just not working anymore. Maybe because in the past they had stronger cast members, so you could deal with someone that maybe didn't have a lot going on in their personal life, but they were interesting to see on screen. Like Ramona for a while, she has been very private about her private life. We never really get to see who she's dating. She's never seems to ever be in a relationship. Has Ramona ever been had a boyfriend since Mario? No, she hasn't. And listen, it's her life. She can live it however she wants. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that she needs to have a boyfriend or get married again, but I don't know. It's not just Ramona, right? We have Leia. Like, what is Leia's storyline? What is it? We don't even, she has this fashion line, but we never really see her working on that. We never see anything that's going on in her personal life. She talked about a guy she was dating. What did she call him? The pita bread guy. But we've never seen him. And I know it's COVID, and I know that New York had really strict restrictions. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of a leeway, but at the same time, it's like, what are we getting? Ebony. At least Ebony has some sort of personal storyline, kind of, she has estranged family, and she's getting in touch with them. Her sister, in particular, not particular, in particular, okay, in particular. I mean, she doesn't know if that's her real sister yet. I guess we're gonna find out. That's something, but it is kind of weird her FaceTiming her potential sister and not actually having her there in person. I do understand that it's COVID, like I said, but I hope once they get the results that she actually goes to visit her and they speak in person, because I don't know, it's just not really giving anything. And who else? Luann, I mean, listen, Luann has given classic, classic storylines, okay? With her and Tom, classic. That will be forever a classic moment. But at this point, I think she doesn't need to be a housewife because she's not really bringing anything. I don't find her that interesting. She's gorgeous, right? She's great to look at, but she's not bringing anything at all. Sonia, Sonia's a cuckoo mess, but I do love Sonia. I do think she's entertaining, but I just think it's time. Same with Ramona, right? We've seen all we're gonna see from them at this point. Maybe Sonia could even get her own spin-off. Actually, you know what? I would love to see Simple Life, but with Ramona and Sonia, and they just travel around the world, not around the world, but across the country, and they get into antics and they have fun. Maybe that's what needs to happen with them, right? But I think it's time that they got a new cast, and I think it's important that they do get cast members that are married, right? Not that everybody has to be married, but it is called the Real Housewives of insert the city. It is kind of weird that nobody on the cast is married, not even one. And we need that. Not that you have to be married, but it just adds another layer to the show, right? It's more characters. We get the husbands, we get the children. There's just more stuff going on, and it's just boring, right? Unless all the ladies are together and they're having a scene together, then maybe it's somewhat interesting. But once you split the ladies up and we go into their individual storylines, there's absolutely nothing, and it's boring. It's just boring. And I don't think it's just because it's COVID, nor do I think it's because Ebony is, is bringing down the show. No, it shouldn't all be on Ebony's back either, but I don't know if Ebony is really bringing it either. I think they just, it's the cast. It's the cast as a whole, right? I think once you've taken out Dorinda and Tinsley and Bethany as well, it just doesn't work. It's too disjointed now. So you might as well just recast the whole thing and make a group that actually has chemistry, right? Get people that are actually friends with each other, and you know, it's time. It's been 13 seasons. It's time. Okay, so let's just get right into the episode. Ebony finding, well, Ebony, her finding out whether or not her father was actually the person she thought was her father was actually her father, right? Um, I don't really have anything really to say about it because we don't even know yet if that's her father. That will be, I mean, he passed, so unfortunately she'll never be able to kind of see where that relationship would have went. When she initially was talking about it, I thought she didn't have any contact, but apparently she did have contact with him. They did speak a couple of times. So even if she found out for sure that he was her biological father, it seems like he wouldn't really be involved in her life anyways. So I can get what she's saying. Like, I can relate to that. I was in a similar situation, except, well, I knew for sure it was my father, and I didn't even have that much contact with him at all. But then he ended up passing, and I was reunited with his side of the family. And I get her sentiment of, well, I never really knew him. He had the opportunity to be in my life, but he wasn't. But now that he's gone, it's not about him. It's about the potential of meeting new family and having that relationship. I will say though, I don't want to be pessimistic, but you never know, right? But it seems like her sister seems to be nice. They seem to get along, but at the end of the day, even though you are blood relatives, you're still a stranger, they're still a stranger. So you do have to go through that period of getting to know them, right? And you may find in that you guys don't vibe, right? And what do you do with that? But like I said, fortunately in Ebony's situation, they do seem to get along, right? And hopefully they do. It's quite unfortunate. It really is. And that's why if you're going to have a child, it's a lot, it's a responsibility, right? And it's an honor and it's a gift. So you want to make sure, obviously, you can't control for everything. Like, shit happens. Not everything is going to be perfect, but you should do what's in your control to make sure that you're creating a healthy environment for your child to grow up in. Because even Ebony, because if you look at Ebony, right, she's a lawyer, she's gorgeous. You think, okay, she has no problems, but she spoke about how not having a father figure in her life and feeling rejected from her potential father, it did affect the way she moves through relationships, and that she had trust issues and insecurities. Same with her sister. And that's important. That's serious, because that can lead you to make decisions that can potentially negatively affect your life long term, right? Fortunately, it seems like it hasn't, but you never know. So that's why as a parent, it's important for you to model healthy behavior, healthy relationships to your child, so when they grow up, they don't repeat certain things or think that certain things are okay when they're not. So I feel for Ebony on that. I'm, somewhat interested to see how this plays out, kind of, but I don't know, not real. I don't know. I just don't connect with her emotionally as of yet, right? Maybe because she's new. So we'll see. Moving on. What else happened? Okay, this whole song thing, right, with Luann. She wants the ladies to come together to record a song for a Christmas album. Why? Why? None of these ladies can sing. None of them. Right? Not even Luann. Luann may be the worst out of all of them. And she's the one with the quote unquote singing career. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but like, why would I ever want to listen to 5 women that can't sing? Why? Why? For charity? For charity? That's just terrible. Why would you do that? For charity? It's just like they're bored and they just want something to do, or they need something to film, right? Luann needs a project and she can't keep talking about a cabaret, and she can't do her cabaret because it's COVID. So it's like, let me just do this nonsense for charity. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because, like I said, none of these ladies can sing. Why would anybody want to listen to them? Now, I may listen to it one time out of curiosity to see how terrible it sounds, and that's it. And when they were playing a bit of the song and they were all singing that line, what was it? What I want from all I want for Christmas is just you, or what I want for Christmas is just you. And they were playing the melody a little bit, the instrument, the piano part. Did it remind you of Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You? They just changed one part or added one word. It sounds, I mean, who knows, right? We didn't hear the entire song, but that part is sounding very much like Mariah Carey's song. Okay? The piano part was sounding, the melody was sounding like Mariah Carey's song or some other song. So when Leia was like, okay, do we need to sign something? Do we need to sign a release? Because God forbid anything happens where, we get sued or you get sued because the song sounds like another song, which it kind of is, starting to sound like here. Am I going to be liable, right? And for the charity, is it always going to go to a charity, or is it a fixed amount? And then past that point, is the money going to go to Luann or the writers? Like, what's the money looking like? What's the breakdown? In my personal opinion, I don't think Leia is crazy for knowing that, wanting to know that. Yes, she's only doing one line, but still, if you're on a project, you kind of want to know, are you protected? What is the money looking like? How is this going to work? Especially if you've never done something like this before. I think it's completely fine to at least ask the question, and I don't get why Luann and even the producers and the writers were kind of looking at her like she was crazy and getting super offended. I know that Leia can be a bit extra at times, but I get it. And if you don't know and you're just asking and the person is getting defensive, to me that's a red flag, right? Like, because hello, Luann was like, oh, I would, at the party, at Ramona's birthday, at Sonia and Ramona's birthday party, when Leia confronted her about it, Luann was like, oh, I would give my right arm for you. That's bullshit. Like, do you expect me to believe that these ladies, besides even Ramona and Sonia, right? They're quote unquote real friends, but look at how they treat each other, right? Luann and Sonia are supposed to be BFFs. Look at how Luann treats Sonia and speaks to her. So you expect me to believe, Leia, that you barely knew. No, you know her for what, 2.5 seconds that you're gonna give your right arm for her? That's nonsense, right? We kind of know that the reason you guys are all together is because you're filming. Hello? And didn't Luann have issues with her children because she was taking their inheritance or trust fund money to buy a house, right? So you can't even be trusted when it comes to your kids. No offense. Why would then I trust you when it comes to business and I barely know you? I've known you for like a year or two. I don't think Leia's crazy for asking, and I'm curious as an audience member, I'm curious myself. Like, when you say this is going to charity 100%, is this forever? Is this always going to charity? Right? Luann saying, well, I don't know, kind of being aloof. And Leia brought it up before the recording as well. Like, Luann wanted to get offended because she felt like this was not the right time to bring it up. Well, Leia brought it up before the recording, and Luann was like, well, I don't know, we just wrote the song, so we'll see. No, it's not we'll see, and that's how people get into trouble, right? Like, hello, it's a stereotypical thing when it comes with friends, right? When they do business together, that there are issues because they don't iron out the business aspect of it, right? They don't have a contract. They haven't figured out the money and the liability, but they just jump head first into it because they think, okay, we're friends, so this person won't screw me over. It's not really about being screwed over. It could just be about mismanaged expectations, right? Like, look at Candy and Kim Zolciak, right? They didn't have a concrete agreement, and that ruined their friendship. So stuff like this does happen. It's not ridiculous to want to know. So that was just weird to me on Luann's part. What else? Oh yeah, their little party, right? It was just so weird and awkward. And the male models coming to their birthday party, it felt kind of male escorty to me, right? These quote unquote models, they felt more like escorts, and it was just, they're just very, if you look at the history with the ladies and these male models, especially when it comes to Sonia, Luann, and Ramona, I'm sorry, is giving me escort vibes. It is. I said what I said, it's giving me escort vibes. Um, the location was beautiful. The view was absolutely gorgeous. The party, it was just, I don't know, like, the show has lost, and a lot of these housewife shows have lost the authenticity to me. It's just like they're having events just to have something to film. That's what it feels like. It didn't feel like a genuine party for Ramona and Sonia, right? It just felt like, okay, we're filming a scene because we need something to film. And it's like we've gotten moments like this but better, right? Remember when I believe they went to St. Bart's. Maybe it was, I don't know what season it was, season 7, season 8, and they had an issue with Luann potentially sleeping with one of the bartender models, and her bringing him back to the house, but her trying to keep it a secret. Like, we've already got moments like this, right? That were genuine. Now it just seems, like I said, it doesn't seem real. It's like, okay, let's just get these guys together because they're models. Of course, they want the camera time, right? And they can flirt with them because that's what the audience loves to see, but it just doesn't come off as real to me. And finally, if there's anything else, I forgot it. I guess it wasn't that interesting. But finally, I want to talk about Ebony, of course, and her Black Shabbat party. And I hate to say it, I kind of agree with Ramona. Like, If you're having a party or an event and it's a mixed group of people, why are you calling it a Black Shabbat party? Why not just call it a Shabbat party, right? You're having a mixed group of people at the event. It's just she's just doing too much. I mean, at the end of the day, she can call it whatever she wants, but it's like she just doesn't come off as genuine to me. It comes off as performative with Ebony. And then the icing on the cake, no pun intended, because they had their little penis and vagina cakes. You know, of course, Leia brought that in, very tasteful, no pun intended again. But the icing on the cake with Ebony, she tells Prashant she's not invited because, oh, well, because of COVID, we have COVID restrictions, so we can't invite too much people, which is absolutely ridiculous to me because it sounds like Ebony already has a group of people going to the event, plus you're inviting the cast. So you already have a gazillion people already going. What is one more person at the event going to do? Right? It's not like it's Prashant and three other people. Then I can understand, well, okay, sorry guys, I don't really know you because of COVID, yada yada yada. But it's just one person. Prashant is just one person. You already have a group of people going. Why can't you invite her? You're having a Black Shabbat party and you invite all the white ladies, okay? And then the other black cast member, you exclude her. That just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It really does. And your excuse is, well, I don't really know her. You don't really know Ramona. You don't really know Sonia. I mean, okay, fine. Her and Sonia have been building a relationship. You don't really know Luann. You don't even really know Leia, even though she brought you on the show. You don't really know any of these ladies. The only reason that you're inviting them is because they're part of the cast. Let's break the fourth wall. That's why you're inviting them. And if you had to exclude anybody, wouldn't you exclude Ramona? Because if you're having a Black Shabbat party, and you know that in the past Ramona has not been so sensitive to you and these issues, why the hell would you invite her? You would tell her, sorry, based on our past conversations, I don't feel comfortable with you being there. That's the person you shouldn't invite. But to not invite Prashant, like, that rubs me the wrong way. And that's why I feel like her shit is performative. I could be wrong, but I feel like it is, right? Like, she's just playing up to camera, right? And she's playing the game. She's inviting the ladies that are on the cast and then excluding Prashant. I didn't like that at all. I don't like that at all. But, Prashant, she took it well, right? Because Prashant could have called her out in that moment, right? And made her feel stupid. But Prashant was like, you know what? I don't even really want to go anyways, because the last event I went that she was hosting, it was just her lecturing and it was pretty boring. That's what so it's like, whatever. There's no loss here. And I also feel like Ebony kind of didn't like Prashant sort of calling her out a little bit on lecturing the ladies, right? And trying to kind of control the ladies or trying to make them change. So she feels like, okay, maybe if I bring Prashant, she's gonna like call me out again, and I don't want that, so I'm not inviting her. That's kind of the vibe that I got. And if you really wanna, if we're gonna play the oppression Olympics, if you wanted to add another layer, you could be like, well, Ebony, I don't want to say Ebony is racially ambiguous, but Ebony is lighter skin, right? And then Prashant is, unambiguously black, right? So you could even say, well, Ebony, you're discriminating against Prashant by not including her, but then you're kind of placating to the white cast members, especially Ramona, who in the past has shown zero interest in, black issues and things of that nature, but you rather include her and exclude Prashant. That's just messed up to me. Anyways, that's everything, guys. Bye.